We now return to Let's Play Rogue States. Before moving on to the next turn, I just wanted to go back in here, look at my situation room, and make sure that things are doing alright. This is actually not what I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at the procurement officer. Yes, medals awarded. We did not get a medal, apparently, for the brave looting and raiding of Babelistan. That's too bad. Yeah, okay. So we'll go with that and another tank brigade, and it'll be pretty good. Another thing I would like to do, if I can swing it, is use my money to start putting into my bank account again, so that I can build up points at the end of the game. That's really just an optional thing. Oh, yes, I was also going to look at clandestine operations. We can't really, at this point, get anything done. I mean, it's over. It's done. I kind of feel, going through this game twice now, that picking this option is sort of the... I wouldn't say it's the easy mode, but it's sort of the basic mode. I think to get the most out of this game, you need to play the endless option at the beginning there. But in order to, I think, also get the most out of that, you need to have some of the experience points through, you know, the basic game, so that you can unlock some of the special options, especially if you get Chechenistan and you're playing an endless game with Chechenistan. You need to be able to talk to those bastards. So anyway, let's go ahead and end the turn. An unstable schizophrenic was found wandering the hallways of the royal palace armed with a knife. Thankfully, he was stopped by the palace guard before he was able to get to you or your family. Okay, well, that's important. More capitalists. How many more? They were already pretty darn big. Palace security measures under review. Police are investigating who gave a crazed lunatic access to the building. It's interesting because you can get this option and still survive it without the palace guard. I think... speculation here, but I think that would maybe suggest to you that, hey, you'd better get a palace guard, or the next time this happens, you're in trouble. That'd be an interesting mechanic there. So basically, we are still at 80%. These guys are not going away, and I don't know if they would ever completely disappear. Approval has gone down. Gone down. I guess just because of the attempted assassination. What do we have here? We've got 75. Right, we'll be able to get that tank next turn. I can go by that drone, but I'm saving it for rockets. So this whole... Let's go see what our relations are like right now. Babelistan is completely cut off. You know, as it should be. There's no point in making an attack right now. It'd be nice if they would call me back, but I kind of doubt we'll ever see peace in our time because of that. A minister who is currently 61% is about to have a huge dip after the next turn. What did you even want? Oh, right, the American ambassador to arrange a visit from the president. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Wait. I thought I got your, no, not in time. I didn't get your 89% approval in time, so I didn't get another card to use. I got very few bonuses from my ministers this game. Disappointing. Okay, well, we may as well just skip to the next turn, because I can't really think of anything I want to do. I'm saving this money for something important, so here we go. I'm still selling, right? Yeah, okay. Foreign video game developers are seeking funds from your treasury to start work on a new game detailing the Great Revolution and your installation as glorious leader of the People's Republic. That's a great idea. Give them some funding, or the developers are heretics. Have them arrested. Either way, we're going to upset somebody. We may as well go ahead and do this because it might be good for me. We'll have extra money so I can still make my purchase. Yeah. That was a bit of a big one. Secessionists have captured 61% of the vote. Ah, yeah, there's the 61%. Southern regions of Basenji are now an independent theocracy. I hate to see our nation fractured, but we tried our best. The phone call.
This war benefits nobody. We propose an armistice to end the pointless bloodshed.
Okay, but we expect you to pay for the damage you caused.
We expect you to pay for the damage you caused.
If you agree to an armistice, we will provide you with enough weapons and equipment to maintain 2 additional military units. Do you agree to these conditions?
You can't see it, but my eyebrow just raised. Very well, we accept.
Well, we accept.
May we achieve lasting peace once and for all.
Oh, that'll be great. We're approaching the end game here, and I don't have the military to attack them again, so that's why I made that decision. We now have new information about Amal Sarkos. My foreign minister is back down to 42%. Because they make unreasonable requests. So, is that tank even necessary right now? I don't know. I guess I could just answer the phone to see how things are going there. They went up a little bit. Interesting. So did we actually get... I mean, she said provide you with weapons and... Oh, ooh, we got a fighter squad. Oh, wow. Are these random or did I double my military? Wow. I think we'll keep these on the border just in case. Maybe I should put all of them on the border just in case. No, I think we're okay. We'll keep some on the inside to help against the Karifi. I'm really disappointed we lost out on that, but I think that's to be expected. Especially since the last thing I did was make an event that lowered my approval amongst fundamentalists, who now are down to 86%. So, what I think I will actually do, now that we don't need the extra tank, I'll just go ahead and buy, or get another invitation to host a prayer at the mountain. Unnecessary, yes. I could also buy a Babelistani newspaper editorial. Raise my relations with them. What would that do for me? Haven't got a clue. Might prevent conflict again, but I mean, nothing's gonna help at this point. Should I do that? Yeah, why not? Why not? We'll buy a Babelistani newspaper editorial published in Babelistan that will portray your regime as an example of good governance for the region. I mean, hey, we ended the war, right? So, that'll be good. Yeah, okay. Hopefully we won't need those points in the end game. Let's see what we're at now. Okay, well, only slightly. Let's see if we can't call and talk. You... unmentionable. Let's check out the new intelligence. Casual drinker and smoker known to have a violent temper. Okay, I mean, he is a bit of a dour guy. Bit of a sourpuss. We've gathered nothing from them. You'll notice here, though, we did find out that they're not sending anyone to my country as part of the tourism. So are you guys still loyal now that I've made peace? I mean, yeah, I think we're gonna do just fine. I do have some money here. I think I'll hang on to it. I mean, that plane I just got is totally gonna help, and I now have plans for this money that I think I'm gonna use towards my bank account and stuffing my final score as opposed to doing anything military-wise. So really, I could probably end the turn here. Raising taxes to 30% doesn't seem to really have impacted anything. What are we looking at there? Electronics have gone up again. And I mean, they've gone up a lot. They are 21 right now. If I could renegotiate those terms, that would be amazing. Not that it helps. We've got 3 more turns until the end, so... Excellency, the World Bank is offering Basenji a low-interest loan of $200 million reals for development projects with a repayment term of 7 mil a turn for the next 5 years. Accepting this loan will disrupt short-term investor confidence in Basenji and will cost us some international prestige, but it could go a long way to improving conditions of our country. Oh, that is tempting. That is so tempting, because we wouldn't have to repay most of that. The game ends before we'd have to repay most of that. And we can totally afford the 7 mil anyhow. 200 mil, I mean... within 5 turns, we would not earn that ourselves at 35. So, in the end, it would turn out to be... we'd come out on the positive on that. I think we'll do it. We'll lower a little bit with the capitalists, hopefully not too much. Other expenses... okay, I'll take the loan. Now what? Condemn the United States in your next public statement. Hey, I can do that. I can totally do that for you, lady. Are we even going to get another speech? I don't remember. I don't remember if we get a speech at the end of this. I don't think we do, because this is the end of the year. This is the end of all my turns. So who did that really just... I mean, that really only hurt the capitalists. And they should, in theory, go up. They're getting 1 approval. So they'll hit 90. I mean, they're at the 80. That's fine. They could go up more. Jobs are now fine. We would hit labor rights, which are now stable, by the way. They're balanced. So we can probably turn that down. What else could I do here? I think we're fine. I think we're totally fine on that. Put some money away? I feel like I want to do something with what I've got right now. Yeah, I think we're fine, to be honest. We'll definitely hit up there, and we're not going to end the game with 100%, unfortunately. If you keep these guys at 100% for, I think it's 5 turns, you unlock an achievement. I think I've managed it with everyone but the fundamentalists. I think we're fine. Yeah, I feel good about this. I feel good about going into the final bit here. We've got so much freaking money. So much freaking money. So what do we do? What do we do with all of this? We're at good relations, they're at war, I can't do anything with it, no selling of weaponry. That's too bad I couldn't exploit that more, I feel really bad for that. Basenji, in debt relief proposed. We really had no debt. We were actually doing pretty well. Basenji, see, it didn't say Basenji in debt, but it's so damn close together. My dyslexia put that together. The debt relief is proposed, yes. We accept a generous offer from the World Bank and put ourselves in debt to the Western capitalists that we hate so much. Another property developer absconds with billions. We need to do something about that. People need to see SimCity. Of course, we've put up that firewall, so now absolutely no one knows what a video game looks like, including the one that, well, actually maybe we might have let through the one that involves our glorious leader here, who's also very handsome. Let's go on to the next turn, because why not? A cruise ship full of wealthy British tourists has just run aground on one of our beaches. Reports suspect that inferior marine controller training was the cause. Uh-oh. Tourism probably down? Yeah. Capitalists went down because of it. Blast. Still above 80 threshold, though. Good. Good. That's all I can say there. That's all I can say at that point. Okay, so I can shove a lot of this into... because the next turn is the end of the game, but it's not the end of the game, and you'll see what I mean. But maybe I want to start shoving some of that into my bank account now. I can always take it out if a crisis comes along, but let's go ahead and deposit most of that. Cruise ship disaster and national embarrassment. Vacationers cancel trips and demand refunds. Yep, we're still fine. No one I really want to talk to because there's no reason to talk to anyone. Actually, will they talk to me now? I guess they will. It must have just taken a turn for things to loop through like that. Yeah, there's no reason to buy any goods for this anymore. I would have liked getting the capitalists closer to 100%, seeing as how they make up an enormous section of my population. But whatever, we'll go ahead and end the turn. A well-known American fast food chain wants to open its first franchise in the capital. There are concerns that Western consumerism will affect the moral fiber of our country. Well, naturally, I'm going to want to go with the capitalists there. We don't want to piss them off more. However, we piss off the patriots and the fundamentalists, and hopefully they... I mean, they're pretty high right now. Hopefully they won't go down too much. We will allow the chain to conduct business in Basenji. Here we go. Farouk, along with a contingent of disloyal soldiers, have marched into the Basenji Legislative Assembly. Declaring a loss of confidence in your leadership, he is declaring our transitional government a failure, and unilaterally suspending our constitution by force. Armored units from the military, apparently loyal to Farouk, have rolled into Haima, along with paratroopers, but we have no knowledge of exactly how many of our soldiers have pledged allegiance to Farouk. Close to the presidential palace, buses are being used as a temporary barricade. For now, he does not appear interested in attacking this building. As of this moment, no blood appears to have been shed, but a state of emergency exists in Basenji. We appear to have time to retake the assembly, but need to first consolidate our own political influence before the public and the international community gives him any credibility. We will give a public speech declaring Farouk an enemy of the state.
The Honorable Basenji people, my fellow countrymen and women, my beloved citizens. Earlier today, I received word that my brother Farouk declared martial law over the People's Republic of Basenji, illegally suspended our constitution, and declared all regional assemblies to be dissolved under no authority granted upon him. The aim of the Revolutionary Council was to establish a strong, united, and prosperous nation, free from corruption and internal strife. Farouk has perverted these goals in order to consolidate power around himself. As glorious leader and custodian of the transitional government, I declare that the actions of my brother and those soldiers who are following his orders are acts of treason, punishable by death. All traitors who surrender themselves to the army before 1900 hours tonight shall be granted amnesty. Our enemies are those that seek to keep the country divided permanently so that they can obtain power, and we will fight them with everything we have. I ask for your support at all times so that our land, washed in the salt by the Gulf, may be cleansed from this hostility, and that democracy may finally be brought to the people.
So, here we go. A new event, the Basenji coup d'etat. So, basically, we are significantly outnumbered. Well, I guess the game will explain this. Procure additional military units to increase the number of soldiers loyal to you. If you are ever able to meet one of the following conditions, click on it to boost your warfare attrition rate. So basically, what's going on here is that over a certain number of turns, not too many because we have quite a bit, the soldiers between Farouk and myself will battle, and the success and failure bar will move accordingly. But because I have done such a good job of getting approval of everybody, since I have gone and made a lot of these things possible, we should definitely have support enough to cause the failure of the coup d'etat. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to click through all of these because I'm not really sure if it adds them all to the bar. I'm going to use enough to get it over to the failure. It'll probably take another turn, and then we can put through the rest of them. We'll call in our patriots, our capitalists, our fundamentalists, the liberals, and the Presidential Guard. You can see now that we have very few casualties anticipated, as opposed to significant casualties for them. The thing is that in my previous game, I had even fewer. I had like 3,000 soldiers, and they stood up against a 4-to-1 army of Farouk and took very, very few casualties. We need one more, though, to make this really over the top, so I think we'll take military approval. The military is on my side. Yeah, I mean, we could probably go further, but we've got the Great Wall to buy off, we've got the Russian alliance to buy off, the Kharifis are no longer in Basenji, unfortunately, and I'm not sure about my ministers, because we do have the one who is low. So we'll have a look. But we can wait for a while. So, we can turn that off. The bar is all the way over. We'll go look at this. Yeah, you are probably disloyal, and you're still yellow, so you're not. Well, actually, it didn't. Actually, it didn't. It said no disloyal, right? No disloyal. Oh yeah, so I can totally use that. So we've still got 3 other things to use here. That'll be fine. What I am gonna do though is I'm gonna go in here. I don't know that this has any effect or impact whatsoever. I'm gonna bring these inland, so that they can help out in the defense of Basenji on the inside. Would putting them on a war footing help out, maybe? Why not? We'll put them on a war footing. We are, after all, now... Oh, I can't really... Oh, because it's redeploying. I was going to say, the graphics is preventing me from... No, it's got a movement thing, so it's not going to be usable for a while. Hopefully Babelistan will not take this opportunity to stab me in the back, but I don't think they were very thrilled about the war to begin with. Troops love me, so we're fine on that. I mean, I anticipate them being just hunky-dory.
With respect, Your Excellency, I have the impression that some of your ministers are expressing disloyalty. You should keep an eye on them. Ministers
Well, the
can be
one.
fired, but they...
We've got the one.
Any news from the Pole?
Excellency,
Country's in healthy shape, except for the impending civil war.
relations with some of our neighbors.
Well, it's not really a civil war. It's just a coup. Newspaper time. Burger Town considers Basenji Market. Government rolls out red carpet for corporate America. Is Farouk sporting a new hairstyle to go with his rebellion? I think the newspaper will flip over in the next turn because the events take a turn. I'm going to guess that the game is not going to end next turn. I think we'll have to have one more. So I'll save a little bit of treasury there, and then in the next turn I think I'll just empty it into my personal bank account so I can use it as end-of-game score. Let's move on to the next turn. A young, famous Basenji musician has released a music video that contains lyrics that are deeply offensive to our fundamentalist population, parodying revered prophets. Have him imprisoned for the obscenity, that should please the fundamentalists, or do nothing. This youthful rebellion is safe and harmless. For the next couple turns it is. Alright. Bolos is disappointed you ignored her request. What was her request? I'm... What? What? We can't buy loyalty yet. We could next turn, but I think this is going to be over here pretty darn soon. I could have sworn we... Whatever it was, I was not worried about it. Bahadur Arashi... What? Arash. Lyrics. Outrage. Protests planned outside concert venue. Go ahead. Again with Farouk. I guess he's in the news lately, you know, what with the coup. Speaking of which, we brought them down significantly. Significantly. So let's bring in the Russian alliance. The Russians will help me, right? Almost all the way. We can bring in these other ones later, but we now have a disloyal minister, so unfortunately I can't use that. Should we just go ahead and use the Great Firewall? Maybe we'll win next turn. I mean, given how much we took them down. Great Firewall! All the way to the right. Okay. And that's the best I can do. I could fire them, because we've already used that. Let's see what happens in the next turn. Of course, I need to first empty the bank. Good. Okay, that should give me a nice bonus. The bonus really is just towards experience points, which we can use for unlockables, so that'll be fun. Anyone to talk to? I wouldn't say so. Let's just talk to you. Maybe now you're gonna tell me, nope. We've got armed rebels outside our door. So Parliament, I mean, they've been taken over, and I guess, well, they're probably being held hostage, but, anyway. Okay, next turn. Fundamentalist clerics are calling upon the government to protect the sanctity of the old ways and ban foreign missionaries from preaching heretical religions. If we agree, that lowers it with all of our friends, which doesn't matter at this point, but we can boost some patriotic and fundamentalist approval, which we need right now. I mean, we don't need it, but it's all that's left from having the 100%, so sure. And here's another one of the whoop, whoop, whoop. Go ahead, game. Farouk's attempted coup failed. His remaining soldiers surrendered. Your brother's body was found in the Legislative Assembly Secretary's office next to a hurried letter that never saw the light of day. Foreign journalists suggested that you were supported by the military grudgingly, and only at the 11th hour. The coup, they suggest, could well have succeeded otherwise. The public figures who maintained their loyalty were rewarded with key political appointments weeks prior to Basenji's first free elections. The lines as voters gathered to elect their president were packed full of proud citizens of all ages and demographics. An elderly woman, when interviewed for the news, commented that she voted for a leader with integrity and sincerity in the hopes that we can provide a fresh start for our people. The first piece of legislation tabled by Basenji's newly elected president was to award you the honorific title of Glorious Leader of the People's Revolution in perpetuity. A statue of your likeness will be raised in the hall of the royal palace like so many others, but time will tell how your legacy will be remembered. Final score. Got the victory bonus. I might just make gold. Offshore account? Yeah, I didn't have a very high American approval this time. Damn. So close. So close. If I just had the Americans up to 100%, I have a feeling that would have helped. Of course, more stuffed into my bank account would have helped too. Okay. So that was Rogue State. I have to say that I did enjoy the game a lot. However, having played it twice now, I do feel like the gameplay was a little bit repetitious. Granted, that was mostly due to the way that I played, but I feel like if you do go full-on evil dictator, you just make it harder to complete the end game. That said, I'm under the impression that to get the most out of the game, you need to play on endless mode with a few of the unlocks. I'd originally wanted to be a true rogue state and conquer the neighborhood, but I ran up against time and metagaming what I needed for the final turns. Not having to worry about the story and having plenty of time to do everything that you please is probably a more satisfying experience. I was also disappointed that I didn't find a way to prevent the constitutional elections and remain in power, but maybe that's what endless mode is and I just misunderstood. Either way, I would definitely consider replaying this on endless mode and trying for a rogue state with nukes and time machines, whatever. Something like that would make for a good live stream if I actually did streaming, but as it is, if I do return to the game, I think I'd like to wait and see if more things are added. As I said, the Russian option was only added recently, and it would be nice if there was some expansion to trading and diplomacy options as well, since that felt really limited at times. We'll have to see. But for now, I thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next Let's Play.